Well, my best friend and I, we both were dedicated to public interest work when we came to law school. There were very few of us who came to law school intending to actually do public interest law when they came out. And we realized as we started looking for jobs for the first year summer that there was legal aid and public defenders, both of whom addressed the needs of people who were very poor, people who were under a poverty line. And it was the era of welfare reform. We were studying that in a couple of our classes, and there was a lot of emphasis on getting people to work. Well, the problem is if people who are working and having an income, even if it's just above the poverty line, have a legal problem, they have no one to turn to because they can't afford a private lawyer, and they don't qualify for a public defense lawyer or a legal aid lawyer. And so how do they address their problems? They either go massively into debt trying to afford a lawyer, or they don't get one, or they get one that doesn't serve them very well because they're getting what they pay for. And we were at one of the top law schools in the country. Ideally, we would come out of there and be really good lawyers. And we talked about wanting to be able to address this gap in the legal services profession, this gap of, the families that we came from would have been devastated by a large legal problem. No one budgets for that. And so it would have been financially incredibly difficult. And so looking at even our own families, we realized this is something that really needs to be addressed. Unfortunately, both of us ended up in different states as a result of who we married. So our concept of creating a small law firm that addressed the public good for the people who were the working people who were above that poverty line and needed still excellent lawyers never really happened. It's been an idea that we kind of put on the shelf, and she and I together have not been able to address it. But when David and I went into practice, we tried to put it into play as much as we could in an informal way, but we never really had a systemic way of addressing it by having a financial analysis of who qualified, by having standards of who we would accept or how many clients we could accept on a sliding scale basis. We just kind of did it as good people came in and families who came to us with their problems and talked to us about their needs, and we made a case-by-case decision about when to put someone on a 2-year payment plan of $50 a week or accept them for a much lower fee than what we normally would charge, but we still gave them the same quality attention and representation, because we believe that every client who walks in our door, whether it's a pro bono case, a court-appointed case, a sliding scale case, or another professional who can afford legal services at a regular fee, all of them deserve the same attention, the same assistance that they deserve. And so that's what we've been doing. The Open Door Initiative is a formal way of doing that. It's opening the doors to people on a regular basis who can qualify for that program and who are willing to commit to us that they will be our partners in addressing their legal problems. We're opening that door to them now all the time. So we're finally taking the idea off the shelf after 12 years.